You were taught that gold forms inside stars, but stars cannot make it, and two neutron stars the size of a city have to collide at a third the speed of light to forge it. In 2023, JWST watched exactly that happen, 130 million light-years away. A gamma-ray burst brighter than a billion suns lit up JWST's detectors, and in the fading glow, Webb identified the chemical fingerprint of heavy elements being born. For the first time, we had direct spectral proof that the heaviest atoms in the periodic table, tellurium, iodine, thorium, gold, are manufactured when neutron stars collide. What follows is the complete chain, how these collisions work, why nothing else in the universe can forge gold, what JWST actually measured, and why scientists now believe a strange new kind of explosion could rewrite what we know about where elements come from. Hold up anything made of gold, a ring, a coin, a circuit board. That gold was not made by the sun, not made by supernovae, not made by any process inside a living star. It was forged when two neutron stars, each packing more mass than our sun into a sphere just 15 miles wide, spiraled together and collided. The crash ejected a cloud of neutron-rich debris at roughly 30% the speed of light. Within that cloud, free neutrons were captured by atomic nuclei faster than those nuclei could decay, a process physicists call the R process, short for rapid neutron capture. In less than a second, elements heavier than iron assembled themselves: platinum, uranium, gold. A single merger produces roughly 16,000 Earth masses of heavy elements. That number alone reshapes our picture of cosmic chemistry. But how do we know any of this is true? Because in 2017, we finally heard one of these collisions. On August 17, 2017, the LIGO detectors in Louisiana and Washington, twin 4-kilometer laser arms that measure distortion smaller than a proton's width, registered a rising chirp of gravitational waves. The signal, designated GW170817, lasted about 100 seconds, growing in frequency as two objects spiraled toward each other. Their combined mass, 2.74 solar masses, precisely in the range for two neutron stars. Just 1.7 seconds after the gravitational wave peak, NASA's Fermi telescope detected a short gamma-ray burst from the same patch of sky. Within hours, 70 telescopes on every continent and in orbit swung toward a galaxy called NGC 4993, about 130 million light-years away. They found a new point of light, glowing, fading, turning red. Multi-messenger astronomy was born. But what they saw next changed nuclear physics forever. That red glow was a kilonova, a term coined by Brian Metzger and colleagues in 2010 to describe the radioactive afterglow that follows a neutron-star merger. It is roughly 1,000 times brighter than a classical nova, but still far dimmer than a supernova. The brightness comes from an extraordinary source, nuclear decay. When neutron star matter is flung into space, it is so neutron-rich that atomic nuclei absorb neutrons in a frenzy, building elements all the way up the periodic table. Those freshly minted heavy nuclei are radioactive. As they decay, they heat the expanding debris cloud, making it glow. In the case of GW170817, the kilonova's light shifted from blue to red over days. Blue from lighter R process elements moving fast, red from heavier lanthanides and slower ejecta. The color evolution itself was a signature of element formation. And for years, that infrared glow was the best evidence we had until Webb opened its mirror. Ordinary stars fuse hydrogen into helium, helium into carbon, carbon into oxygen, and so on up the periodic table. But this chain stops dead at iron. Iron has the most tightly bound nucleus of any element. Fusing it does not release energy, it costs energy. That is why massive stars die. Their cores fill with iron, fusion halts, and the star collapses. Everything above iron, every atom of copper, silver, gold, platinum, uranium, requires a different pathway. You need a flood of free neutrons so intense that nuclei capture them faster than they can beta decay back to stability. Supernovae produce some neutrons, but not enough for the heaviest R process peaks around atomic mass 130 and 195, the tellurium and platinum groups. Only a neutron-star merger delivers the required neutron density, roughly 10 to the power of 30 neutrons per cubic centimeter, for just the right fraction of a second. The universe has exactly one forge hot and dense enough to build gold. So how did JWST finally photograph it in action? On March 7, 2023, NASA's Fermi Gamma Ray Burst Monitor registered an eruption so bright it overwhelmed its detectors. The burst, designated GRB 230307A, lasted about 35 seconds and was roughly 1,000 times brighter than a typical gamma ray burst, making it the second brightest ever recorded in over 50 years of observations. Its duration placed it in the long soft category, traditionally associated with collapsing massive stars. But follow-up observations told a different story. The afterglow faded fast and turned deep red, the unmistakable hallmark of a kilonova, not a supernova. Webb's infrared capabilities were uniquely positioned to investigate. Using its NIRCam, JWST traced the kilonova's position to a point roughly 120,000 light-years from a nearby spiral galaxy, far outside the galaxy's disk, exactly where a binary neutron star system would have been kicked by a natal supernova. The scene was set for Webb's most consequential chemical analysis yet. 29 days after the burst, JWST turned its NIRSpec instrument toward the fading kilonova and captured its first mid-infrared spectrum. At 2.5 microns, a clear emission line appeared, a spectral fingerprint matching the forbidden transition of doubly ionized tellurium, element 52 on the periodic table, with an atomic mass of 130. This was not a model prediction or a statistical inference. It was the first direct identification of an individual heavy element produced by a neutron star merger, observed in real time by a space telescope. The spectrum also revealed that the source was extraordinarily red, with most of its light emitted in the mid-infrared, a signature of lanthanide production, those rare earth elements from lanthanum through lutetium that only the R process can forge in bulk. Published in Nature in October 2023 by Andrew Levin and collaborators, these results demonstrated that compact object mergers create R process elements across a broad atomic mass range. But one element conspicuously absent from the spectrum hid a deeper story. Tellurium sits at atomic mass 130, right at the second R process abundance peak. Its neighbors on the periodic table are iodine and xenon. The physics of the R process guarantees that if you produce tellurium, you almost certainly produce its neighbors as well, including iodine, an element essential to human biology. Your thyroid gland needs iodine to function. That iodine was forged in a neutron star collision billions of years before Earth formed. And further along the periodic table, the same logic holds for gold, platinum, and uranium at the third R process peak near atomic mass 19.5. The GW17087 event alone is estimated to have produced approximately 10 Earth masses of gold and platinum combined, scale that across the Milky Way's history, an estimated neutron star merger roughly every 10,000 to 100,000 years, and you begin to account for every atom of gold in the galaxy's disk. The jewelry on your wrist is neutron star debris. But in 2025, astronomers found something that made even kilonovae look small. On August 18, 2025, the LIGO and Virgo gravitational wave detectors registered a new signal from 1.3 billion light-years away, a merger of two objects, at least one of which appeared less massive than the Sun. That is deeply strange. Neutron stars are typically 1.2 to 3 solar masses. A subsolar neutron star should not exist under standard stellar physics. Hours later, the Zwicky Transient Facility at Caltech's Palomar Observatory spotted a fast-fading red glow. For 3 days, the event, designated AT25Ls, looked exactly like G170817's kilonova. Then it brightened, turned blue, and showed hydrogen lines, the hallmarks of a supernova. Led by Caltech's Mansi Kasliwal and published in the astrophysical journal Letters, the team proposed something never seen before. A superkilonova, a kilonova hidden inside a supernova, a dying star that collapsed, split into 2 subsolar neutron stars, and then those neutron stars immediately merged, one explosion nesting inside another. If confirmed, it rewrites how heavy elements can be born. Every discovery in this story, GW7087, GRB 230307A, AT 2025 ULZs required combining fundamentally different kinds of observation. Gravitational waves tell you the masses and the moment of collision. Gamma rays reveal the jet and its energy. Optical and infrared light expose the kilonova's chemistry. Radio waves map the jet's interaction with surrounding gas over months. No single telescope could have told the full story. This is multi-messenger astronomy, the practice of listening to the universe in every channel simultaneously. LIGO hears spacetime itself vibrating. Fermi captures the highest energy photons, and JWST reads the elemental recipe in the infrared afterglow. Together, they transform a flash of light into a periodic table of elements with addresses and birth certificates. Before 2017, the R-process origin of gold was a theoretical prediction. After JWST's spectrum of GRB 230307A, it is observational fact, but the next generation of detectors is about to make today's observations look primitive. LIGO's current observing run, combined with Virgo and Japan's Kagra detector, is expected to detect multiple neutron star mergers per year as sensitivity improves. Each detection gives JWST another target, another kilonova whose infrared spectrum can be dissected for individual element signatures. Meanwhile, the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, coming online with its 10-year legacy survey, will scan the entire visible sky every few nights, catching kilonova optical counterparts that current surveys miss. And NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, launching in the coming years, will add wide-field infrared coverage to hunt for these faint, fast-fading signals. The goal is audacious, a complete census of which elements the R process produces, in what ratios, and how those ratios change with the mass and spin of the merging neutron stars. We are building, event by event, a recipe book for the heaviest matter in the universe. But something even more extreme happens at the instant of collision. Before the kilonova, before the elements, before the glow. Here is the full picture. A star lives, fuses elements up to iron, and dies in a supernova, leaving behind a neutron star, a city-sized remnant so dense that a teaspoon weighs 1 billion tons. If two neutron stars orbit each other, they slowly spiral inward, radiating gravitational waves until they collide. The collision ejects a cloud of the most neutron-rich matter in the universe. In that cloud, the R process runs wild, building every element heavier than iron in under a second. The debris disperses into the galaxy, eventually mixing into the gas clouds from which new stars and planets form. Earth inherited its share 4.6 billion years ago. The gold in your ring, the iodine in your thyroid, the uranium beneath your feet, all of it was assembled in a neutron star collision that predates our solar system. You are, quite literally, wearing the debris of dead stars. And at the very center of that collision, something is launched outward at nearly the speed of light, a phenomenon so extreme it holds the record for the fastest object in the known universe.